video, we are cleaning, organizing, and packing for our upcoming road trip. So I'm making sure that the house is left clean so when I get back, I can sort of prolong my vacation and don't feel like I need to clean right away. So if you're looking for some cleaning motivation or tips how to get organized for an upcoming trip or vacation, you definitely came to the right place. If you are new here, hi, my name is Marta and I make videos on house and time management. So make sure that you are subscribed below to see my future content and let me know if you have any video requests. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back. So in these videos, you're gonna see footage from 2 days and the morning of when we were leaving. So I started my cleaning on Friday. If you follow my channel, you know that every day I do a cleaning task. So I'm gonna link that video down in the description box. And on Fridays, I do bathrooms and the floors. Now you will see that the living room needed to be picked up quite a bit because my kids were playing. So before I could get to the vacuuming and mopping, I had to clean the surfaces. So on this particular week, I didn't do such a diligent job of cleaning my living room, which is usually what I do on Wednesdays, because I knew that it's gonna be a lot of packing, a lot of moving things around. So I did dust, but I did not clean the table like I normally do, or the windows and stuff like that. So that's why I am doing that on that Friday, to make sure again that the house is left as clean as possible before we leave. So as I was cleaning the living room, I also went through some of the workbooks that my kids have because I wanted to take some of them with us on the road trips in case they get bored, in case they need something to do so they can use them. And later on in the video, I'm gonna show you exactly what I packed for them to keep them entertained we were traveling quite a bit. The whole trip took about 15 hours. So it was spread out over 2 days, but they just had a lot of time in the car. So I'm definitely going to walk you through what I am taking later on in the video. As I was cleaning the table, I noticed that my son dropped some popcorn on the floor and it attracted quite a bit of ants. So let me know in the comments, what are your plans for this summer? Are you guys going somewhere? Are you doing road trip? Are you flying somewhere? Are you doing more of a staycation? Let me know in the comments because I love to travel. So I am definitely interested to see what everyone else is doing. Now, one of the favorite things for my daughter to clean is mopping the floor. So I make sure I give her a Swiffer, and I use another mop everywhere else. So she does a little bit of dancing, a little bit of cleaning, but I am definitely not gonna discourage her from cleaning. And the next thing I wanted to do is to clean out the fridge. So anything that was gonna go bad, so you know, things like produce or any leftovers, I just wanted to clean the fridge, throw away whatever needed to be thrown away, so nothing gets spoiled and I don't come back to a smelly house. And I just wanted to prep any food that we were going to eat that Friday or the next day. I was going to make some chicken, which you can see on the side. Now I know it doesn't look like it, but it is sealed. It kind of looks like it's just laying there. It is sealed and we ended up not using it, so I just threw it in the freezer. One of the things I wanted to make sure we do, which we normally do on Fridays anyway, is to make sure that my kids had their finger and toenails cut, so I don't have to worry about that when we went on our road trip. And the next day, which was Saturday, that's when I started with the packing. So that's when I started pulling all the outfits that we were gonna take with us. So that's the process I am going through. I really wanted to make sure that my kids had enough clothes, and if you are gonna come back next week, you're gonna see the process of unpacking, and you'll see that I did overpack. However, it was mostly for the clothes that were for colder weather. So I kind of laid out the outfits like for my son over here. So we have, a few different days, some long sleeve options because it seems like it's cold in the mornings and evenings and pretty warm during the day. So I got all things laid out for him over here. Then I have my daughter's stuff over here, already piled it up. So I kind of included like a outfit with each other. So that's how it's gonna go into the luggage. And then have my own station over here on my bed. I'm still missing a few leggings from the downstairs. There's something in the laundry. So it's still a work in progress, but we're getting there. So here's everything that we are taking for the kids to keep them entertained during the car ride and also in the hotel room if needed. So for my daughter, I just took a lot of crayons, some of those workbooks like I mentioned before, some watercoloring, which is very fun in the car because all you need is water. Some games I found in Target. I also bought in Target those notebooks, and they were very useful on a road trip because they were small enough. I also picked up something in the dollar section, like a bingo and some of the like a small dry eraser in Target area with some game in the back. This magic easel, I had it for a while. A lot of coloring books for my daughters and sticker because she loves to do that. Some dry eraser marker and books. Headphones, a little fan that I found and they like to play with in case they get really hot at some point. And for my son, basically the same kind of idea. A lot of workbooks, crayons, scissors and glue, watercolors as well. That bingo game, basically the same kinds of things as my daughter had on her side. Just sort of his version of it, because if you have two kids, you know that as soon as one starts to play with something, the other one wants exactly the same thing. Another game with like shapes and things I found in Target, dry eraser books, and of course, we were taking tablets, one Kindle and one tablet for the kids. And to be quite honest, that is what kept them entertained most of the time. I made sure I downloaded some of their favorite shows. They had some games on it for, it's mostly actually educational, which was quite fun for them to play with because they normally don't do it at home. So those tablets definitely got a lot of use. So thankfully the car that we rented was equipped with chargers, so we didn't have to worry about that. But now it was time to pack everything into their backpacks, which went in the back of the car, and I was just passing them whatever they wanted from that backpack throughout the trip. And then it was time to pack the food, which was mostly snacks. We did take some like bananas and grapes, but I didn't record that. But I wanted to make sure I had enough snacks for the road trip. So I had a system of putting snacks into small Ziploc bags and putting that into a small cooler. And that's something that I kept with me in the car. So anytime they would ask for a snack or food, I had that accessible. And everything that was sort of left over, I put it either in the larger Ziploc bags or just, a whole package in a separate bag. And that is something we put in the trunk of a car. So we had that available to us when we actually arrived at the hotel. So we had snacks for the entire time we were there. But that is why you see me kind of doing opening and shuffling. I wanted to keep things as organized as possible because, I am not a huge fan of road trips. I love, when we get there. It's just the driving part really gets to me. So for my sake of mind, for me not to get stressed out, I wanted everything to be prepared. I was done with food, it was time to clean that living room again. Because as I was packing, my kids were obviously keeping themselves entertained with just bringing a lot of toys to the living room. So this day my son was helping me out to clean up all the mess, to make sure that we have everything cleaned out before we went to sleep, because we were leaving very early the next day. So let me know in the comments which area of the house your kids tend to get the messiest, because for us it's definitely that living area. Even if they're watching a show, they're always playing with something. So this is pretty much how my living room looks like every single day. Last piece of footage I wanted to include over here is the morning when we were leaving. And I don't know how you guys do it, but regardless if we're flying somewhere or driving somewhere, and despite all the prep time I did ahead of time, it seems like in the morning I am still running around trying to get breakfast ready for the kids, packing the last minute items, because things like my makeup or hairbrushes or toothbrushes, I mean, that's something that has to be packed the morning of, because we are using that in the morning before we leave. So it seems like that craziness is always part of the morning. Now I do make sure I get up early enough, but it just made me laugh that I was running like crazy. This didn't have to be speed up that much. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're gonna stick around for next week's video when I unpack everything and put my house back into order after our road trip. So make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss that video, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.